Smells like poverty. Let me help you get rid of that smell. At a middle school reunion, I ran into my ex-girlfriend who used to look down on me for being poor. She poured wine on me. Maybe you smell a bit more luxurious now, thanks to the wine. Even though I'm no longer the same person as I was before, her attitude of constantly assuming I'm poor and laughing at me was exhausting. A woman who handed me a handkerchief glared at my ex and said, "He's not poor, you know. He makes $2 million a year. What are you doing?" After that, my ex-girlfriend faced a karmic end. I might consider dating you, James. There was no way I wouldn't be thrilled when Ashley, the most popular girl not just in our class but in the whole school, said that to me. My name is James. I'm just an ordinary boy attending a regular public middle school. If there's anything unusual about me, it's that my parents divorced when I was in elementary school. Now, I live with my mom in a single-parent household, and we don't have much money. My mom works from morning until night. I try to ease her burden by doing what I can myself. I can handle basic housework, and my mom always smiles and says, "It helps a lot," when she sees me doing it. In my class, there's Ashley. She's known for being cute and beautiful, and even though she's still a middle schooler, she works as a magazine model. She's popular throughout the school, and many students admire her. Of course, I was one of them. That day, during our monthly seat change, I happened to end up sitting next to Ashley. I was so nervous, to say the least. "So, you're James, right? Nice to meet you." Yeah." I couldn't come up with a better response, so I felt annoyed at myself. But Ashley didn't seem to mind at all. Ashley, who works as a model, sometimes missed classes or arrived late. And when that happened, she often spoke to me because I sit next to her. I would generously share my notes and let her look at my textbooks, and because of that, we started talking more often. Talking to Ashley was really fun and exciting. It goes without saying that I was increasingly drawn to her. One day, it was one of those rare lunchbox days. Normally, my middle school provides lunch, but occasionally, we have to bring our own lunchbox. That day, I woke up early, made my own lunchbox, and was eating it at lunch when Ashley came into the classroom saying, "Hey, everyone." "Hey, Ashley. Did you have a shoot today?" "Yeah, I'm so tired," she said, greeting the girls in the class and sitting next to me. "Wait, where's my school lunch?" she said, looking around. "Ashley, it's lunchbox day, today." "Oh no, I totally forgot. I came here for the school lunch." "You came just for the school lunch?" I laughed as I continued eating my lunch. "Wait, James, your lunch looks delicious." "Really?" "It's just a normal lunch." "Did you make it yourself?" "Yeah." "No way. That's amazing." "Well, it's not that big deal." Ashley said, "Can I have a piece of your omelet?" and without waiting for my permission, she picked it up with her fingers and popped it into her mouth. "Wow, this is so good. James, you have a talent for cooking." "Well, thank you." I was really happy inside, but I got embarrassed and looked away. "I can't cook, so I think people who can are awesome," she said. And started eating the fried chicken I made. "This is amazing too," she said with a bright smile I couldn't look away from. "I might consider dating you, James." With those words, Ashley and I started dating. Before I knew it, Ashley and I were dating, and we finally planned our first date. We planned to go on a classic movie date. The reason was that she said there was a movie she wanted to see. Our meeting time was 11 o'clock, but I was so nervous that I arrived at the meeting place by 10:30. After all, it was my first date with Ashley. I must not mess up today. I kept waiting nervously, and she finally arrived at 11:30, saying, "Sorry, I'm late. It took me a while to do my makeup, sorry." Even though she was late, Ashley looked incredibly stylish and unbelievably cute. She was so stunning that I felt guilty being her date. Shall we head to the movie theater?" "Yeah, let's go." I was so nervous that I kept talking to Ashley, but I don't remember any of the conversation. As we were walking together, a group of juvenile delinquents who I thought didn't exist anymore approached us, saying, "Hey there, cutie." They looked like high school students, about 5 of them. "There's a toll to pass through here." "A toll?" "Yeah, it's $100 each to pass. Since there are 2 of you, that'll be $200. $200. Even under normal circumstances, $200 is a lot of money, but for a middle schooler from a single-parent household like me, it's an even bigger deal. It feels like $20,000 to me. I don't have that much. Then leave all the money you have. I'm scared. Ashley cried out. I was really scared too, but I was the only one who could protect her. However, surrounded by 5 guys much bigger than me, and not being particularly athletic, there was no way I could win. I tried to put up my hands in a defensive pose, but my legs froze, and I couldn't move. In the end, I got beaten up by the group. One of them took my wallet from my bag and looked inside. What? This guy only has $30 in his wallet. $30 for a date? Ashley, this guy is super poor. No way, did he plan to split the movie cost? Unbelievable. That $30 is my precious allowance from my mom. I tried to reach for it, but couldn't. They took the $30 and threw my wallet back at me. And finally, I heard Ashley say, "So lame," as she walked away with the group of delinquents. I was taken to the hospital by an ambulance that a passerby called, and it turned out I had a broken leg. I ended up with a cast and crutches. When I returned to school after the break, I was laughed at. "Hey James. I heard how you got that injury. That's so lame." That was Robert, the leader of our class. Next to Robert was Ashley. "James, you're seriously too lame. Plus, being poor is the worst. I wish you'd never show up in front of me again. Dating you even for a moment is a black mark on my life," Ashley said. "Try being surrounded by that many guys, it's terrifying." I tried to retort so, but Robert kicked my crutch and I fell. Looking up in surprise, I met Robert's glare. "Got a problem?" "Loser," he sneered. From that day on, Robert and Ashley started bullying me. They hid my textbooks and school shoes, wrote "poor" and "loser" on my desk with permanent markers, and even dunked my school bag in water. In group activities during gym class, I was left out most of the time. No one could stand up to Robert and Ashley, and I couldn't tell my busy mom about any of it. When I hinted to our homeroom teacher, Mr. Smith, about the bullying, he just said, "You're probably imagining it." It was a tough and lonely time, but my childhood friend, Joshua, supported me. Whenever we had group work, he'd say, "James, let's do it together." Our class president, Melissa, also stood by me. She'd always scold Robert and his gang, saying, "Aren't you ashamed of yourselves?" and treated me like a normal person. But despite their support, the relentless bullying made me stop going to school regularly. Before long, I couldn't go to school anymore and started spending my days at home. Joshua and Melissa took turns checking in on me every day, but I just couldn't bring myself to go back to school. After a while, my mom found out that I hadn't been going to school. She gently asked, "What happened?" and I finally told her everything. And then, I told her that I wanted to go to a high school out of state. Of course, the reason was that I wanted to get away from Robert and Ashley, who had bullied me so much. I didn't care if people said I was running away. I straightforwardly told my mom that I wanted to start over in a new place. I had already set my mind to go to a boarding school, and when I told her I wanted to go there, she said, "I'll go with you." So, I applied to a high school far away from here and got accepted. I didn't attend the graduation ceremony at the middle school, but Joshua and Melissa contacted me to say, "Let's keep in touch." And then my mom and I moved away. A few years later, I was living in the town we moved to, without returning to my hometown. One day, I got a message from Joshua saying, "There's going to be a middle school reunion. Are you coming, James?" Just reading that message brought back all those memories, and I had no intention of going, so I simply replied, "I'm not going." Then, Joshua called me for the first time in a while. "Hey, Joshua, long time no see." "Yeah, how have you been?" "I'm doing okay. My health is good. How about you, Joshua?" "I'm doing well." "So, about the reunion." "Yeah, I'm not going." "I figured you'd say that, but listen. If you showed up now, everyone would be shocked. They only know you from middle school. And they still make fun of you. I want to prove them wrong. You won't be mocked or defeated now, I promise. Please." I don't care if they still make fun of me, but if you put it that way. It's true that the current me wouldn't lose to Robert and the others. After a lot of deliberation, I decided to attend the reunion. On the day of the reunion, my work took longer than expected. The venue wasn't too far from where I was, but the reunion had already started. What should I do? I don't have time to change. I had planned to go home and change into something decent after work before heading to the reunion. But now I was in my tracksuit with no change of clothes. Maybe I should just skip it after all. As I was thinking that, Joshua called. James, are you almost here? No, I'm in a tracksuit. I can't go like this. A tracksuit? Joshua laughed. Just come in your tracksuit. I'm looking forward to seeing you. He hung up, and I decided to go to the reunion in my tracksuit. Who cares? When I arrived, there were a lot of people at the reunion. It seemed almost everyone from our class was there. James. Joshua spotted me and ran over. Sorry for being late, Joshua. You really took your time. It's been over an hour since it started, he said with his usual bright smile, which made me feel somewhat relieved. But everyone at the venue was giving me cold looks for showing up in a tracksuit. A tracksuit? Is that James? Why is he in a tracksuit? I knew I shouldn't have come. I regretted it. Then, someone called out, "Hey, are you really James?" I turned to see a flashy-looking guy with blonde hair and a woman clinging to his side. Looking closer, I realized it was Robert and Ashley. Both of them were somewhat familiar, even though I only knew them from middle school. James, showing up to the reunion in a tracksuit. You're still so lame, it's hilarious. Ashley, who said this, was wearing a slit party dress. A bit over the top for a reunion, don't you think? Hey, loser. You haven't changed at all since middle school. You might look like an adult now, but coming here in a tracksuit makes you still a kid. Robert, who was approaching, wore a blue suit with white stripes. With his blonde hair, he seemed pretty overdressed too. Ashley, Robert, knock it off. I'm the one who told him to come quickly, even if he was in a tracksuit. Joshua defended me, but Robert and the others just snickered. Who actually shows up in a tracksuit? Unbelievable. Wait, James, is a tracksuit your everyday wear? Well, because of my job, I wear it a lot. Don't try to sound cool. You're still poor and can't afford new clothes, right? No, that's not at all. As I was thinking about how they were overly fixated on me, Ashley said, "You smell poor," and then she splashed wine all over me. The wine spread a stain all over my tracksuit. As I wiped my face, she mocked, "Maybe now you smell a bit more luxurious thanks to the wine." James. Are you okay? A woman rushed over to me. She handed me a handkerchief. I took it gratefully and said, "I'm fine." But then she continued, "You need to take off that tracksuit," and the classmates around us started murmuring. Hurry. You'll catch a cold. Melissa, it's fine. Even if you think it's fine, your health is important. I'll get you a shirt, so just take the tracksuit off. At Melissa's insistence, I reluctantly did what I was told. I didn't want to take it off because I wasn't wearing anything underneath. Whoa, what's with that body? Everyone's shocked. James's got a six-pack. Wow, you're really muscular. Aren't you totally ripped? As the room buzzed, Melissa handed me a shirt and glared at Ashley. Ashley, he earns $2 million a year, so he's not poor. This is an important time for him. What do you think you're doing? $2 million. The room buzzed again. Oh, come on, stop lying. This is that poor James. There's no way he makes that much. Yeah, how could he make that much? A poor guy in a tracksuit can't be earning that. Then Thomas, who was also in our class, spoke up. Hey, are you, really, that Iron Fist? Yeah, that's me. No way. I'm a fan. Can I get your autograph? Iron Fist is my boxing alias. In middle school, I had a rough time and thought, I want to become stronger. So, I joined the boxing club at high school to build physical strength. There, a senior member of the same club complimented me, saying I had great skills. And then, I was introduced to a boxing gym. passed the pro test, and started my career as a professional boxer. It's no wonder my classmates didn't recognize me. Compared to myself in middle school, I've grown taller and much more muscular, so it's understandable they didn't realize who I was. Recently, I've been achieving decent results as a boxer, and in fact, I had a match earlier today. Today's match was to get a right to challenge the current world champion, and I managed to win, so I will be able to give it a try. Now he's earning a solid income from prize money, so he's not the same guy he was in middle school. Melissa says this with a smug look for some reason, but she's right. This is the same Melissa who helped me countless times back in middle school. She continued to worry about me even after we graduated from middle school, and frequently kept in touch. Melissa became hooked on boxing after watching one of my matches in the boxing club I joined. And then she told me, "I'll become your trainer and make you a world champion," when I said I would turn pro. True to her word, Melissa now actively works as my personal trainer. Who's the one stuck in the past? Who is lame here? Get over it. Melissa's loud shout echoed throughout the room. In the now silent venue, the first person to move was Ashley. "Hey, James, you make $2 million a year, right? Maybe I'll date you now," she said. "Huh? Ashley, what are you talking about?" "Well, you're rich now and way more handsome than in middle school." "James, you still like me? Right?" She said this while putting her arm around mine and snuggling up to me. What makes her think I still like her? While I was oddly impressed by her audacity, I firmly replied, "No, I'm dating Melissa now." "I don't like you, Ashley." At my words, someone snickered. Laughter rippled through the reunion venue. Ashley, her face red, stormed out, shouting, "I'm leaving," with Robert hurriedly chasing after her. Later, it turned out someone had filmed the whole incident, including Ashley throwing wine on me and cozying up to me once she realized I wasn't poor anymore. The video spread online. Ashley, who was still working as a model, was branded as a villainous model with a terrible personality and couldn't continue her modeling career. Robert, who was running a couple's YouTube channel with Ashley, saw their channel criticized and damaged because of the video's fallout. Eventually, they had to close the channel, and both Robert and Ashley became infamous in a bad way. Their personal information was leaked, and their home addresses were quickly identified, forcing them to stay at home all the time. I never expected them to end up like that. It really is true that you reap what you sow, I thought. Then came the day of my match against the world champion after rigorous training. Thanks to the incident at the reunion, it had become well known among my classmates that I was Iron Fist. Many of my middle school classmates had come to the venue, filling the seats with excitement. My opponent, Jack, was a legendary world champion with an undefeated record in 30 matches. Honestly, I wasn't sure if I could win. I believed our skills were evenly matched. But since I started boxing, my goal has always been to become the world champion. I'm definitely going to win, I thought, slapping my cheeks to pump myself up. The gong sounded, signaling the start of the match. Neither Jack nor I gave an inch, and the fight dragged on to the final 12th round. By the 12th round, our stamina was nearly gone, and both of us were breathing heavily. I had taken a straight punch to the face in the 9th round, barely getting up before the 10 count, but it had left me with significant damage. This is my last chance. The final round began. We both remained unyielding, and neither landed a decisive blow. 1 minute left. I heard Melissa saying, "This is my only chance," I thought, focusing on Jack. By this 12th round, I had figured out Jack's patterns. He favored a right straight punch, but his guard dropped for a split second after throwing it. I had to aim for that opening. 50 seconds left. Melissa's voice came again. I saw Jack's right hand move slightly. He's going for the right straight, I was sure. His glove came at my face with a speed that seemed impossible for the 12th round. I narrowly dodged it and quickly regained my stance. Then, with all my strength, I threw a right straight punch at Jack's face. It hit his face perfectly, and Jack fell down. 5, 6. The champion remained down during the referee's count. Please, stay down. I was completely exhausted and couldn't go any further. 9, 10. The gong rang out loudly. Did I win? The world champion Jack has been defeated. The new world champion is Iron fist. Cheers erupted, and I couldn't help but shout, I did it! My dream of becoming the world champion had finally come true. An interviewer approached me. Thank you all for coming from so far away today. The audience erupted in cheers, shouting, whoa! I could see some fans crying as they looked at me. Today, I'd like to share a bit about myself. It might be hard to believe now, but I used to be really weak. I was beaten up by bullies and they took all my money from me. I was truly weak, both physically and mentally. Because of that, I had a tough time in middle school and ended up leaving my hometown for high school to get away. But in high school, I really wanted to change myself. That's when I started boxing. If there's anyone out there who feels like I did, I want to tell you to have a dream. Whether it's becoming a CEO, a soccer player, a teacher, a police officer, or a firefighter, it doesn't matter. Put your hand on your heart and find out what your dream is. And if possible, tell someone about it. I know how it feels to be mocked for your dreams, so you don't have to tell those kinds of people. Just tell someone you trust. And if you don't have anyone, you can even tell me. I promise I won't laugh. Human potential is limitless, and I'll prove that with my life. It doesn't matter where you are now. Just keep reciting that dream every day. I'm not saying that wishing alone will make it come true. Wish for it and do the mundane things every day. That's the only way to achieve something extraordinary. I truly support anyone who chases their dreams. Anyone can change because I did. The frustrations I felt in middle school drove me to become stronger. If you never give up and keep working hard, you can change yourself, and your dreams can come true. If my efforts can prove that, I want to keep striving. With gratitude to everyone who helped me along the way, I vowed to keep working hard. It was only a little while after that, on the day I achieved victory in 2 weight classes, I proposed to Melissa.